Whoa, yeah. I like giving a little yeah in the beginning. And then I realized that you listen to this every week, so I hope you like the yeah, the karate. These are the paying sponsors for the show. If you'd like to be a paying sponsor for the show, you can email me at neveragainstudio@gmail.com. I have information I can send over to you. But these are all my friends, family, your family when you're involved here. Very fast and furious. But you can contact me and you can become a part of the show. And they keep the lights on. So I appreciate all of the sponsors that mess with the show. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Contact me if you'd like to be a sponsor. Finishers MMA, finishersmma.com, @finishers. That's how you find them on social media. These guys have a show with us every Monday called Now We Go. You can check it out. Zach, JM, Thor, Grace, there's too many to name that come out of that school, and they are killers in the game. They are the biggest MMA jiu-jitsu school in the area, and they are owning the East Coast. You can contact them at 610-438-0746. Ask for Andrew. They are at 3761 Nicholas Street in Easton, PA. They have 2 locations as of now, Bethlehem and Allentown. They are growing into 3, 4, 5, 6. I would say they are taking over, but they already have. Check them out on all of their social media. They are awesome to follow. And if you're looking to get in shape, you're looking to choke people, you're looking to do anything at all to better your life, finishersmma.com. AllValleyRooter.net. That's not how you pronounce it all the time. I just say it that way. All Valley Rooter, Jared LaBarba. He is my plumber. He's the show's plumber. I'm getting him plumbing business all over, and I love that he is getting what he wants. He has 24-hour emergency service. He is certified, insured, and professional. You can follow him at All Valley Rooter. He's on social media, and you can find his information at allvalleyrooter.net. Jared came down over the weekend and he fixed a problem down here. He's super professional. I love him as a person. I love his business. He grew it and he's doing his own thing. It's allvalleyrooter.net. It's 24-hour professional plumbing services. He can help you out with everything you need. It's 610-762-1656. He's certified, insured, and professional. Do not be afraid to contact him for any of your plumbing needs. Support Jared. Jared supports us. Luke Delmeyer Handmade Custom Knives. I love Luke. It's lukedelmeyer.com. He's a farrier, a bladesmith, and a blacksmith. He has custom knives, and the best part about it is you can take classes to make them. So not only can you take a class to learn how to make knives, at the end of the class, you get that knife. We're working on a project together. He started recently getting into chef knives, so he's starting to make chef knives. He makes hunting knives. He can make any of your needs as far as blacksmithing. That's at Luke Delmeyer on Instagram. That is the best way to follow him. You can see all the stuff that he's posting, he shares, he does raffles, he gives giveaways. Check out all things Luke Delmeyer at lukedelmeyer.com. We've had him on the show before. You can dig down in the library, listen to how he got started and where he's at now. I'm excited to work with Luke. He's a really good friend of the show, and I'm excited to showcase his chef knife that he's making me. Check out all things Luke Delmeyer at lukedelmeyer.com. Farrier, bladesmith, blacksmith. Rips Auto Detail. This guy is the best, hands down, in the area. I've interviewed him. I know his story. He's doing things that others aren't, and I love that he fucks with the show. I love getting the best of the best and having them support and be a part of this. That's what the sponsorship is for. I'm giving you the best people in their profession, and Rips is the best at auto detail. It's at Rips Auto Detail for Instagram. You follow that. He's showing you the different cars he does, and it's at 630 North Nelson Street in Allentown, PA. He offers paint correction, ceramic, SPS coatings, and more. This is appointment only, and it's ripsautodetail@gmail.com. You can call him at 484-553-1366. I tell you, follow him. If you don't know, you want to know more about what he does, follow him on Instagram. Follow Rips Auto Detail, and you can see all the things that Rip does. He's a big part of the show. We have a separate show we do called Road Dogs, and you can check out his past interviews and hear his whole story. I couldn't recommend this guy more for your auto, car, boat, plane. This guy literally has done everything, and he is the best in the area doing this. Rips Auto Detail.
We're good on this end.
We're recording?
Yep.
Welcome back to Never Again Radio. I'm just jumping right the fuck into it.
Yeah, fuck it. Who cares?
How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm really good, actually.
Last I saw you, I mean, we keep in touch and talk about food quite a bit, but the last I saw you, I came down with Kevin Patton from Rocky Ramen, and we drove down. I totally forgot what it's like to have to piss going into Philly since we used to go in as kids. And like halfway down there, I was like, fuck, I got to fucking piss.
Well, it doesn't matter. In New York City, you can pretty much do anything you want.
Well, that's what he said. That's what he said. He goes, do you remember when we used to come back here and when we were like 20, 21, drinking and shit, we would just get out of the car and piss in the middle of the fucking street. He's like, yeah, we can't do that now.
Times have changed.
But we went down there and we were searching for a parking spot. It was very reminiscent of when we used to because we couldn't find one. And then we went around the block. And then as soon as we pulled up, somebody pulled away right out in front of Mama's too. And then when we got out of the car, I heard, yo! And then you guys handed us the sandwiches. I felt baller. I felt like it shouldn't have been done to me. And it was nice. It was awkward sitting in front of everyone who's in line. But it felt fucking cool. And
I wish I was out there to see that. But
it was quite an experience. How did you get hooked up with even doing anything at Mama's too?
Well, Frank and I the last few years have done quite a few things together.
Yeah.
It started, I think, now it's 2 years ago. I did the Mama's 2 holiday party. I made porchetta. I made pasta matriciana. We did cured meats and cheeses of mine. And then
I love cured meats.
I love uncured meats too. But no, he so he was from there. We had people from the James Beard House because it was they wanted Frank to cook at the Beard House. And his idea, which is still very flattering to me as, a cook and as a friend, was he wanted to do it with me. And we did that. He's used ingredients of mine for other pop-ups and other collaborations. And then, I've been watching his sandwich thing every week. And most of the time.
When did he just start that this year?
I think it's this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday. Yeah.
I think the first thing I saw was the chicken parm.
Yeah. Chicken parm, meatball parm. He did all the porks. He did some really cool sandwiches. And, he said, let's do it. And then a week later, we did it. It wasn't, it was fun.
It was fucking cool. I saw you were doing it, and I was like, Kevin immediately texted me and was like, I think it was like as soon as the post went up, I heard like ding, and Kevin was like, Wednesday, My Machine, Mama's 2, let's fucking go. Because Kevin took me to Mama's 2 last summer, and it's probably some of the best pizza I've ever had.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's ridiculous.
It's one of my favorites. And, Frank's great. His food's great. And obviously people know that. And that's why we had lines down the block and we had to, I think it was like an hour and 15 minutes in, we had to cut off the line. And from what I'm told from people from outside was that there was the equal amount of people online that couldn't get sandwiches and then they kept coming back. So
there was a guy who stopped us because we ate and then we were waiting for you to get done just because we wanted to say what's up. And we went over to this like hole in the wall bar across the street. It was the perfect place. Like it was better that we were eating outside. So when we were hanging out there, a guy stopped and he's like, I come down here every time they do a sandwich because of quarantine. I don't leave my apartment for my job anymore. So I have the luxury of walking to Mama's 2 anytime I want. And he was like, that was the best sandwich they've had. And that's the fastest it's sold out.
That's cool. And I heard that from quite a few people. And it's hard, everybody has their different tastes. But
of course,
I was glad to see a lot of people come. And you guys came from the furthest just because it was going to be my porchetta and my collaboration with Frank. And it was fun. I mean, making food is fun. Making food when you can do it with your friends in an enjoyable setting. And I mean, I was in the basement of Mama's 2, just pumping sandwiches
that's what I was going to ask is how that's set up because that's such a small place and it's primarily like the pizza ovens. I didn't know there was a basement, which makes sense now because that's prep.
The basement is like the tiniest room, but the amount of dough and ingredients and the amount of pizza that comes out of Mama's 2, considering the small prep area, which I was used to with my store, but like it was Frank and I, and he had to bounce up and down once in a while, but we had porchetta with provolone under the broiler, and we had fresh bread, his crazy focaccia coming down all the time, and we're just splitting and saucing and topping. It was like
that's awesome.
It worked out great.
It's fun to be in the trenches like that. Was that the first like thing that you've done standalone since you left the store?
Yeah, I mean, besides private parties and a couple of pop-ups in Westchester with pizza, that was the first, like I guess you could say, larger scale thing. Since I left, everything else has been just somebody's backyard making wood fire pizza, or I do porchetta every week for Castay and for private clients, stuff like that. But other than that, that's it. That was the first one.
I forgot that this is the first time you guys have met. You've had his food from when I think I got a bunch of it for the fights, or have you ever had any of his food yet?
I know
cheese.
Yeah, the cheese.
By the way, you should just bring that all the time.
I know, and I was going to bring some this time, but I was going to make some this morning.
Well, I
and
was
then
going to hit
screwed.
you up because there was definitely like 15, 20 people that would have bought it immediately that like asked me about it. So then I was like, I don't know if he's got enough time to
No,
fucking
yeah.
sign
What
that.
else? You brought something. You brought the cheese because I ate the food. Then you were like, no, you have to try the cheese thing.
Well,
I'm trying to think of when I did get a bunch of shit for one of the fights, and I forget what it was.
Yeah, when you came, you got like sausage, you got meatballs, chicken meatballs, stuff like that. Sausage and peppers, I think. Bread.
That was all just for
It's,
Don't. Do you think he shares?
he said it was for the
anything?
fight, but he didn't say for the guests.
I'm trying.
He's just like, I see pictures of him there, and first of all, I saw him there, and I looked, and I was like, well, thanks, you're fucking telling me that you're going there. And he pulls up a chair, and he goes, I got so much food, and I'm like, is it for the fights? He goes, no, it's fine.
I'm trying to think because I've been down multiple times, and the one time I got a bunch of shit and shared it with my family, and then I think the next time I came down was when I had orders for people because we had to ring up separate shit. So maybe
that was the tent day.
Yeah, because I think I did have stuff for the fight. I know I had mozzarella for the fight. I forget though, but I forgot that you like. I try and give us food to everybody, but then I remember that I eat most of it once I get it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why if I'm usually when I go places, I'll pick up stuff for other people, but I don't say it until like later in the evening next morning because I want to see what extents of debauchery I'll put myself through to finish it, and then I'll say, oh, by the way, don't just disregard that bite mark, but I got you a nice burger.
Yeah, but is that the first time that? Well, I mean, I'm sure you've been making porchetta for so long. Is that kind of the way you make your own porchetta sandwich, or was that a collab with George, or was George like, hey, because when I met George, I was asking you guys that. I was like, well, how did you guys like come up with it?
Oh, Frank, you mean?
Yeah, Frank, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's George?
I don't know. I thought I missed.
It wasn't even close.
Listen,
I don't know where George came from.
I'm playing with this stupid Swiss here, and I was like, did I miss a part of the story? Like, what the fuck is going on?
George. Who's George?
Fuck George.
You know what? The crazy thing about me, well, one of the crazy things about me is I like so many things in so many ways. So I like a hand cut thick porchetta slice. I like sliced thin. I like melted cheese. I like hot pork and cold cheese. I like it every way.
Yeah.
I think it's logistically and easier to do if you're gonna, because all morning I was slicing porchetta like crazy. They gotta have a commercial slicer just nonstop. Probably the best way is to do like a thin slice way, the way we did it.
So what'd you do? Just like pounds of thin slice? How much fucking pork did you guys go through?
I think it was 45 pounds. But also I took the skin off completely. It was like a Buffalo Bill moment. I had the red lipstick on and everything. But no, it was because we wanted to be able to, because you can slice it with the skin. It just demolishes it. So we wanted to be able to chop up and put crispy skin on each sandwich.
That was the first bite I got. And I looked at Kevin and I said, I go, he has the skin on it separate. Like it was, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it was, I was like, and he was like, dude, it was funny because we were starving. We went on a bike ride. And then when we got into the car, we both took an edible. So by the time we got down, it was like we had munchies and I was like, dude, I'm ready to fucking eat. Oh, yeah. So it's like, I think when we sat down to eat it, we were taking pictures of it and he just stopped me and he goes, I can't fucking wait anymore. He just started fucking eating it. And it's the best sandwich I've ever had. And I tell everyone, I said, that was a sandwich. It's not cheesesteak. It's not, I said, that is the best sandwich I've ever had.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I ended up getting to taste it myself actually only because we had like small pieces of focaccia that weren't big enough and I put a few scraps aside. So I had like a kind of ghetto version of it late at night, but it was popular. It had all my favorite things. This provolone cheese melted on it, broccoli raw. There was the salsa verde, which is like that tangy, citrusy parsley sauce. Yeah. And then there was the bomba calabrese, which is the hot pepper. It's not just hot peppers. It's actually vegetables and hot peppers. So it gives you that heat, it gives you that pepper flavor, but it didn't kill the whole thing. So, I mean, we played around. We tried it with the little smoked mozzarella instead, and it was good. But, you know, people said the same thing that we felt is that it kind of took that much away from the porchetta to have that smoke flavor. Yeah. So we went with the provolone. It's a typical Italian-American sandwich, provolone, broccoli, rabe, and pork. Yeah. But I think we brought it to a different level with a different pork and the crispy skin and the sauce is really kind of, and Frank's bread is just,
it was insane. Ridiculous. It was insane. The thing I tell everybody, it was the size of a Nerf Turbo football. Like it was like I was like, holy shit! But we were hungry and we fucking housed it.
That was the smaller version because when we did it a week earlier for a few people for social media stuff, we made like these. I mean, they had to be like 8 inches long.
So is that what primarily social media people do? Is they don't they come and do it separate?
I guess.
Or is that just something they were doing because it was just like a really big social media account?
I think it's the way Frank does it with, the hype of every week, which is good because, nowadays everything is social media. Yeah. Me personally, I don't have my social media experience is mostly involved in my idiocy on my page.
Yeah.
So I can't say it's how they definitely do it.
Yeah.
I know I'm doing a collaboration next Friday in Brooklyn, and I think this week, maybe Wednesday or so, we're going to do like a video, or Thursday, a video of us just talking about it and showing the sandwich, and then the next day it'll drop. But I guess everybody has their own.
That's the way to do it, though.
Yeah. I mean.
So what you were saying, I'm sorry, you were saying that you had it a different version. It was bigger?
Yeah, it was the same sandwich, but it was bigger.
Oh, my God.
I know. It was mostly for, I mean, in my opinion, it was mostly for the appeal of look at this sandwich. Like,
yeah.
But it was, I mean, and you had it. The pictures that went up is the way they came out.
Dude, that sandwich was fun. It was big, dude.
Yeah,
and that was the only thing I ate that day. And then Kevin was like, dude, and we were just sitting there like hunched over. And I was like, I don't know. It was so good. If I was full, I would have kept eating it. But it was cool.
Thank you.
I said to him, I go, I will never have an experience like that, because it was like the edibles, the drive. There was, that was a big moment for me and Kevin, because we always would go into the city and talk about how one day we would have our own businesses and we'd be driving back here to do cool stuff. Yeah. And we were doing it. So like to have that on top of it, and then to go there, get the parking spot out front, walk out, and someone's like, yo, here's a sandwich. Then there's a table there, and we just sat down and immediately got to eat. It was just, I said to him, I go, it'll be, and I texted you, I said, it's a mark in time. That sandwich was that good that it'll be.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad it went that way. I'm glad you guys came. And I'm also happy that I was finished early enough that I could come out and hang out for a little while.
Because then we got to hang out for a little bit, because I know you're busy and I didn't know what we were going to get into. And we were just kind of around the city, and we were down there for the day. So I was just like, I don't want to go home. So we were gonna look into maybe going to Utopia Bagels, and then we had Kevin was like, maybe Gotham will be up, and then that's kind of when we ran into you, and then we ended up going over to
Field Trip
in
Harlem. Yeah.
What's Field Trip all about?
Field Trip, Chef JJ is a cool guy, nice guy, great chef. It's I can't explain it because I don't know it as he would himself, but it's like they have this whole thing of rice is culture, which is really cool, and I love rice. So they have all these different influences from all over making these crazy rice bowls. I mean, we had the braised brisket one, I think, or short rib.
Yeah, it was
we
short
had
rib,
crispy chicken. We had seafood gumbo.
You guys, him and Kevin ordered. They just were like, they were arguing with who's going to pay the entire time, and then they were like, get this. And we basically ordered one of everything off the menu.
And they even remember they opened the.
They were fucking. They were so nice. They were so nice.
They put the table out for us. We got that raspberry hibiscus soft serve, like the sweetest people, great food.
Especially in a time where it's like fucking up food places. Mm-hmm. So like we couldn't eat there. Yeah. And then we were like, all right, I guess we're just going to eat out on the sidewalk, which would have sucked. And then the lady was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to, we're going to eat over in the window. And she like, it was like a grandmother taking care of things.
Oh yeah.
And then that made it cooler, because then we were like, all right. And then she's like, I got some beers and stuff. It was a fucking dope day.
No, it was great, and they were so nice to us, so gracious and fun.
And their food was incredible too.
Oh, it was amazing. It was absolutely. And I'm glad we ended up there, because the original idea was I wanted to go to a friend's place or a place that was different, because you guys are having pizza, you're having the porchetta sandwich.
Yeah, and like what you said too, you were like, I want something totally different.
Yeah,
I've been eating fucking porchetta for fucking
37 years.
Yeah. I get that though. I mean, when I was at the cheesesteak place, you just get burned out on eating the same fucking thing. You love it. It's just
I mean, I love
it every day.
I don't get too burned out, but I knew we had like a category, like where we're gonna go. You can't go too far in the city sometimes with traffic, or most of the time. So it's like, all right, what's in the area? And like you said, we were looking for Gotham, but it wasn't gonna happen. There was great pizza places nearby, but it's like, what are you gonna do?
You have like a bag stuck on my foot. I was like, what the fuck's happening?
I was like, what is he doing?
Are my corduroys rubbing together? What the fuck is going on over there?
All of a sudden, I was like, what's touching me? And there's a bag, and it wouldn't get off.
I wish it would have been
that was me.
Please, I'm sorry, Tom.
Yeah, he's like leaning over.
I was trying to hold you like a bowling ball. That was me.
That was a blast though, because once we got the food there too, we were just bullshitting. And it was fun. It was just jokes, and it was fucking good.
No, I loved it. It was a great experience. The people working there were like part of it. We were joking with them. We were being ourselves, and I mean, to me, the best part about eating food is with having fun doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you can't eat every meal with your friends, but when you do and you laugh, and it's like, it makes the food even better, and the food makes the conversation even better.
Yeah.
And it's just all this thing. I mean, the only part is like you spend less time chewing because you're talking, but we can, you can make up for that.
Yeah, and like that's why I always loved coming down to your places. When I did it the first time, like we were like bar hopping before we came down, and but that's what we used to do is we would take back roads, we would drink when we were underage on the way down, and then like we would go to different spots and you have a couple beers, and it's like you're fucking eating a sandwich in the parking lot, and then when we did it the second time with the pop up, like I love doing stuff like that. It's my favorite thing to do. And then when we were able to do it in the city and kind of bounce around, like that's when everything disappears and I don't have a fucking bills go away, and it's just it's one of the only times I can live in a fucking moment, and it's fucking rad. I love it.
No, it was cool. It was fun, and like I said, I missed seeing so many people that day of Mama's 2, the collaboration, because I was making sandwiches. But the fact that you guys came from an hour and a half and you were still there, and it meant a lot.
Yeah, we were gonna hang because I said to Kev, I go, I don't know how busy he's gonna be. I don't know if he's gonna be burned out from the rush or whatever, and I don't know if they were up early. I said we don't know the circumstances of what he wants to do.
None of that would ever stop me from eating and hanging out anyway. I was up, I think, at 5:30 that morning.
Yeah,
and again, it was a rush, but I'm so used to my store all our stores were 1,000 items and 1,000 fucking customers and nonstop. So to stand in one place making, it's a pleasure for me. And I was like, all right, but then, it's only my time restraint. I had to be home at a certain time. Other than that, but at least we got a meal in.
No, it was dope. That spot was really cool. All the food that he had all of it was based like with a rice base, and then it was so. It just went so all over the place. Where like the one dish had like collard greens and fried chicken, and then there was like, what was the short rib one? Like one of them had like a New Orleans feel to it. Like there's so many different like flavors going on, so many different inspirations going on to that. I mean, I went with my friend Gennaro, took me to the friends and family grand opening of that place, and there was other food there. I won't discuss it, but the stuff we had from field trip was like, holy shit. It's just a breath of fresh air. And for me, if I can find any way to eat rice a new way, I'm happy. I love rice. So it was good.
No, I loved it. It's delicious.
What do you think that you're going to be doing? Are you going to do more sandwiches like that, or like are you like who are you collabing with next Friday?
With Sette Pani. They have a restaurant in Harlem and they have a bakery in Brooklyn that's been there 40 years. And they make cornetti, which is like Italian croissants. So she started doing Milena, who's the...
She was at Mama's too?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. She walked by when we were leaving the one place. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Her father opened a bakery 40 years ago, and it's family business. So she's stepping in and doing a lot of different new things, a lot of exciting stuff. And we're going to do a collaboration, croissant cornetto with porchetta, homemade stracciatella, which is like the inside of the burrata, if the best way to describe it, with my basil pesto with cherry tomatoes and the bomba sauce on top. And then it's going to have the crispy skin.
Were you guys making that the other day when you were there?
Yeah. It was so fucking good, though.
Well, now I got to text Kevin. I guess we're going to go. When is it? Next Friday?
Next Friday the 13th, which is great.
Yeah.
From 12 to 5 at Brooklyn and Harlem. But I'll be at Brooklyn with Bilena, with the family there for all the time. And
so they have 2 locations.
Yeah.
Are they going to do both sandwiches at both locations?
Yeah. It'll probably be more focused on at the bakery in Brooklyn, where the other one's a restaurant, but it'll definitely be available at both. And when we sell out, we sell out. I mean, it's another thing we're doing where it's like we're shooting for a number that we're cool with, which same thing I did with Frank. We're like, all right, if we reach this number, we're good. And with Mama's 2, we sold out in crazy amount of time. So I'm hoping the same thing.
How was it at Mama's 2? Was it boom, 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 boom? Like how fast were you guys pumping that out?
There was orders that came in like through their website, through mamas2.com, and then there was people online, and I mean, some people were getting like 9 sandwiches to an order. One of them was 3 sandwiches. My friend Kiko, I'm like 3 sandwiches. Then I saw the name. I go, he's not sharing this. But I mean, the flow was pretty good. I mean, considering we did just like I think it was like 118 or 120.
They have a pretty solid
sandwiches.
setup there. They were moving it.
Yeah,
because when we got there, the line was around the building. Yeah, and then when we went to park, it was halfway down, so you can tell. I mean, we were late, of course. That's how we always are.
It was the flow was good. I mean. Especially people were also buying pizza too, because
that's right.
You got to realize a lot of that line is going to be for the pizza too. But luckily we sold fast. People were excited, and you hate to leave people without food, but hopefully that'll just give a little push to people to come even early. Because I always tell people the same thing when you're doing a pop up, 5 to 9 or 12 to 5, whatever. That sounds great, but you're doing a pop-up. It's not like you have an existing, setup for this product or whatever it is. So you get there as early as you can, even if you're not going to eat the fucking thing right away. Get there early because you have a chance of us selling out. I mean, we went live with the sandwich at 12, and at 1:15 or something, Frank put on their page, sold out.
Yeah.
So
when we were leaving, you texted me and you were like, "Hey, this is gonna sell out." And you were like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "We're just leaving." And then Kevin was like, "Dude, we're so dumb." He's like, it's fucking My Machine and Mama's too. He's like, this is going to be fucking gone. Because we went on a mountain bike ride. We try and do that once a week. So we were like, all right, let's get a mountain bike ride in. We'll feel healthy. Then we'll go down to the fucking thing.
Burn some calories.
Yeah, they'll burn some calories and then put them back in. And then when we got down there, it was like, when we left, I was like, dude, like if I didn't know you, we would have been fucked.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's really hard, and I don't offer or try to do it all the time because you're busy. You don't want to guarantee, but I knew you guys were coming from so far away, and it would be ridiculous if you came and didn't get it. So plus I knew we were going to start talking about doing our things and doing our collaborations and stuff. So I'm like, you know what, in the very least, I got to make sure these guys get sandwiches. But we were in touch the whole morning pretty much.
No, yeah.
And that video you made before and the one after, I was like, first of all, the one after where you like follow him home, he has pizza. I got so many messages.
Follow him home.
I got so many messages from people like, that's fucking hilarious. I'm like, it's not entirely false.
Well, it always feels awkward when you tell someone to follow them, and I'm always just like, what? That's like such a terrible thing to tell someone. Follow them.
Go follow this guy.
Go through their dirty laundry.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
What do you like? Because we've been talking about doing, and like what I'm excited about too is like when I met you, and then I'm kind of starting to see all these different food people that you follow, and then I start talking to all these different people like Burger Buff, and then I talked to the guy from Local Stone, and Local Stone turned me on to all these pizza pop-ups, and then like I really saw how you can do food totally different, like, and it was extremely eye-opening, and everyone's always pushing me to do shit, and it's like the one thing I don't want to do is I don't want the customer to be in control. And I say that in a way where I would rather do something fun. I would rather have my friends come cook with me and then do something. And if something's sold out, it's sold out. And if I don't want to be open tomorrow, I don't want to be open. And these pop-ups allow you to have 100% of the control of everything.
That's something that is very, very new to me. Because like we talked about last time,
it's extremely foreign. Yeah,
it's extremely foreign because we had 1,000 options and we were digging all day to make sure they were full and they were available, which is great. I like the focus. I like you said, it sounds harsh to some people, but you don't want the customer to have,
until you're on the phone with somebody and they're like, what the fuck? Why didn't you put fucking more tomatoes on my sandwich, you cocksucker? I'm like, what? It's Friday night?
Well, you're an asshole. No matter what, no matter how many times you're good, you're an asshole that one time, and then you're always a.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, what attracts me to it is the idea of being more focused. Putting everything into one item, or 2 items, 3 items, whatever, but to be able to like have fun and making something that you're not sacrificing anything, you're not altering anything. Everything is just, this is the way I want to do it. This is how it is, and we're going to have it available. Come down. I like that.
I do. And I like that it's usually, and like what you said, where it's like hyper focused. So the fucking, it's not just like somebody selling pizza. It's like somebody worked on fucking pizza to where it's going to be totally different than anything you had, or it's going to be the best fucking pizza you eat.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a ton of eateries out there, and there's some that have been making the same food forever, and it's great, or they're just outdated and they're not keeping up quality, whatever it is. But to me, like the whole pop-up culture is like, this is going to be, even if you might not like it, but even if it's something unique, it's something interesting.
I like the gypsy feel to it, where you have to go to them and they might not be there. And then like how we were talking about Burger Buff, and you're like, oh, he's going to be in Jersey. And I'm like, oh, that's close. Like there's a lot of fun stuff that plays into that, where you get to take a trip and you're not just driving to one destination. And you're like, oh, did we call ahead? Maybe we'll get parking, and it's all planned out. It's this thing of like, am I going to get the sandwich? Where's it going to be? What time is it? Like, I see Gotham Burgers. I think I started following from you. Like, I see that guy's just like moving and shaking. But if you don't go to him to get his food, he's not there anymore.
No, I know. And I've been to, I think, four of the Gotham pop-ups.
I know. I was always jealous every time. Just unfriend you and then follow you again.
Just send me just pictures like this.
Yeah, nude.
You just spread assholes. But no, like, it's like, I've always like, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to go as early as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, from where I live to the city, it's not incredibly far miles-wise, but you can go from a 45-minute to an hour-and-a-half drive real easy going into New York. But I'm obsessed with food, if you haven't noticed. So I'm already with the mentality that even if he runs out of fucking pickles, I'm not going to be happy. So I'm going to get there early.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I mean, and I like that. I like that because if you have a great restaurant or a great deli or whatever near you, you may not go there as often because it's there. And, you know it's going to be there and it's good. I mean, nowadays you never know who's going to close. But I like the idea of, oh, shit. Gotham's here. Burger Buff's here. Angelo Mind Machine is here. We have to get there because he's
hate
there.
That you called yourself that?
No, you know what I mean? Look, I'm going to give a brief description. I don't think we talked about it last time, just to say how I didn't pick the name for any reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I do have a fucked up head, so I Mind Machine maybe. I don't know. But years ago when Instagram like started getting cool, you have to pick a handle, and I couldn't decide, so I was just obsessed with the song from a band, Scar Symmetry. They're like progressive death metal from Sweden with like amazing vocals and then death metal shit. And their song was Mind Machine, and I loved it, so I picked Mind Machine.
Yeah.
And then Insider Food did this silly video about me being the king of all cheeses or whatever, and it was all Mind Machine, and then Mind Machine everywhere, and now it's like,
I refer to you as that, and people go, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I get
They're
it.
like, "What do you mean?" They go, "Who's Mind Machine?" And I'm like, "It's Angelo."
I know I'm nobody who's anybody, but you know what?
Yeah,
when
but-
I go place, people are like Mind Machine.
Yeah, but
I'm like,
those are the people that go to Pizza Hut because they want to get pizza,
well, yeah,
and
well,
that's what you try to explain to people. Like, come on, man.
I know.
Like, the fuck?
But listen, if people remember me in any way, I'm happy. So if Mind Machine has to be said or understood more than Angelo, it's like, all right. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. But what's cool is that a few of the guys from that band, Scar Symmetry, are friends of mine on Instagram, and I'll have like them playing while I'm cooking on live, and they'll be there. Like, I'm like that. It's a cool experience.
Yeah.
And when I would have like stuff about the name, it would be like, that the singer of the band is in this live chat, right? I'm just saying, but it's cool because, I mean, I guess eventually I'll have to have my name be in front, I guess.
Would you?
I don't know. I mean, the Mind Machine thing isn't bad, and
No.
there's a million ways to make excuses of why it's okay. And in the very, least part of it is that it's just a song I like.
And
but
cool merch.
yeah, I guess cool merch. I mean,
No, I told him we could do what did I say? The Metallica T-shirt where the girls, or what was it? Injustice for
Injustice
All,
for
where
All.
it has like the lady.
Yeah.
It's called
Just like
the Scales of Justice.
yeah, but make her own. I don't know.
it's a great week to not realize the scales of justice.
I don't pay attention. It's much easier.
No, you know what it is? It's funny because, like, I guess, I mean, if it were to be something that I would be successful and known as Mind Machine, I don't know, maybe the band would sue me, but I don't know. They seem like cool guys by now.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been on my live feeds when I've been booted by Instagram for having their music playing copyright stuff while we're talking.
It's weird.
So-
We've had people. Who was it? I'm drawing a blank. now.
Adlib. He
came
was standing.
on.
He was playing his music, and he goes, "I give you permission to do this." And
Yeah,
they cut
and
us
then
off.
because when we first started this out of my apartment, it was just audio, and then I said to him like, "Oh, let's just have the guest pick a song." So if you would come on, you'd be like, I'd say, "What song do you want?" And that would be the intro to the
Yeah.
fucking thing. Then we started realizing that we started getting pulled for fucking music, so the podcast would be pulled down.
Yeah.
We'd have to put it the fuck back up.
And then he's forgetting to tell you he would do the promos and then the advertisements,
Oh, yeah,
and
that
he'd
was
play
fun.
music and go, "Oh, we're screwed, Jesse. We're not gonna get. We're gonna get."
So
pulled
like
this
I
time."
would do
private
promos
message.
and play music in the background.
messages.
And he'd always be like, "Hey, we're gonna get fucking pulled," and I'll be like, "Well, we're gonna do it until we do." So each fucking promo.
Yeah. And
we'd
then
be
the
going
only time my wife actually heard one of the because she doesn't listen, and it was him roasting me to Justin Bieber, and he's like, "I'm going to sing this to you," and she's like, "Is he fucking talking to you?" And I go, "I don't know."
Oh my god! But that's the thing. It's like And I understand, especially the music business right now with the pandemic stuff, no touring nor anything. And I know the music business for, I don't know, what, a few decades now are struggling with making money off their music. They got to tour like crazy to make anything. I get it. It just sucks when you have great music on and I'm not trying to sell the song.
No. Even when I when I make a video and add music to it, like even when I do cooking stuff, it's like you can't, I figured out so far that if you play the song from the very beginning, the algorithm picks it up.
Yeah.
So if you come in like 15 seconds or you chop something out of the song or you start in the middle of the song, you don't get any shit. But like Instagram sucks because I don't have the option to play music in my Insta stories. Like they just took it away.
Oh, what kind of, because you have a business page?
But see, I switched it back to a personal one, and I still couldn't do it.
Really?
But I also lie and say that lie and say that I have rights to music all the time.
That's all right. But like, I get it.
That's allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly, I sign "Hey, thanks" when they ask to put a signature in. So I mean, I think that covers it. I'm not a lawyer, but that's not my signature.
But no, like I said, I understand it. It just sucks because to me, everything I do has music involved in it, and if I'm cooking or doing anything, I have music playing. I probably have dozens of videos from my old store or home cooking that I've either posted and they've been blocked or banned or whatever because the music.
But YouTube changed it because now if something gets pulled, like Old Town Flood, they were on and the algorithm picked up because they wanted me to play a music video in the middle of their podcast, so which I did, and then you just get an email and they're like, hey, the original owner of this song, Old Town Flood, if this would go viral, they get the money, which I don't, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. If a video of me making fucking risotto in my flip flops in my kitchen has a Slayer song on it, and Slayer can make money, I have no problem.
Listen, you're getting promoted because you're the person on the video. You're not going to make money off the video.
Slayer gets a check in the mail for 90 cents. YouTube gets the rest of the money, and we move on.
Yeah, I get it. It's frustrating because there's nothing cooler, especially when I get the angry messages from like chefs around, like you can't make food with that kind of music playing. That's insulting.
That was one of my biggest appeals. Is I was like, dude, this dude's crazy. I'm like, he's listening to Norwegian death metal while making meatballs. I said to Kevin, I'm like, who is this fucking guy? But that was the biggest thing because it made you different from other people. And I was like, cool, he's doing his own thing. You do not give a fuck, which is one of my favorite qualities about what you try on. Yeah, I mean, there's a thin line on social media.
I'm probably teetering at about like 83% on my page.
That's how I am. It used to be 100%, which is what I told you, where I can't share memories anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. But that's the thing, and it sucks because. But the thing is, and we're in a time in the history, especially this country, where people just take things and turn it and twist it and different points of view on it, and
because they have feelings.
Yeah, and jokes. Yeah, come on, listen. We all have fucking emotions, but stop already.
Yeah,
there's going too far, and then there's take a deep breath. That's my favorite line. Yeah. I get attacked. You see my stories where I'll call people out. How about this?
If you don't like something, then just don't watch it.
Yeah, no, that doesn't exist. That never existed. And it's same thing with food. Look, I'm working with this app, and not to drop names, but I'm working with this app. Ate It.
No, you told me about him. I follow him. It's good stuff.
Great app. The thing I love about it the most is they don't allow any negative feedback.
Yes.
Which people say, oh, but not everything is good. I know that, but when it comes down to it, if you're gonna give negative feedback to an eatery, to a food business. You have a perception. You may think it sucks. I may think it's great, and vice versa. But at the end of the fucking day, you have everybody from the dishwasher to the landlord who have to pay their bills.
It's where Yelp fucked up.
That's where Yelp. I hate them.
Yelp is full of fucking fake people. Yeah. And then when you talk to Yelp and you say, they're like, oh, well, for money, we can do this. We can set up your account. And it's like, so if I pay you, I'm going to get good views.
Yeah, no, that's how it is. No, I've been there. They used to call me relentlessly. I actually had to contact a friend whose neighbor worked at Yelp to get them to stop bothering me. Because then all of a sudden, my cell phone number.
They're terrible.
They got my cell phone number.
Every day. I'm like, every day they used to call the fucking deli. But what do you want to do? I said, I don't want to pay for anything. I said, my boss is cheap. I said, I'd rather give more money to the fucking dishwasher than fucking pay you to fucking we'll put you up further. I said, if anyone's looking for this deli, they're going to type it the fuck in.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've all looked at reviews. The way I feel about reviews on a mass scale, Yelp and everything, is some people know absolutely shit, or some people take in something silly like, oh, they didn't give me enough ice in my water, 2 stars.
Yeah.
By my house, I got to find it and send it to you. You could put it on the page or something. There was literally a review about a Chinese restaurant near me, which I've had, and it's great. And they're like, oh, the food was great. The service was great. They were so friendly, but I'm type 2 diabetic, and they sent me all this free rice, 2 stars. I was like, and it's not a lie. It's true. I'm like, so I like this app because it's 8 words, hence Ate It. 8 words and a picture you've taken of the food. It's not a doctored up influencer bullshit fake picture. It's not, you're not there to wax intellectually about how much you know about food or the business. It's 8 words, a great picture. You click it. You can click Lyft or Uber or Google Maps to get there. And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's the only.
That's what it should be.
That's how it should be. Because look, if a place isn't good, I'd rather find out for myself than somebody put it on the internet and put somebody out of business.
Yeah.
Because the food business, you don't make as much money as people think. Certain businesses, certain aspects make more than others. Fine. But at the end of the day, I don't care if this guy's food sucks. I want him to be able to have a roof over his fucking head.
And that's what's wild about food, too, is that one person could eat it and it could be the best thing they've ever had, but they've never had food that I've had. So my perception of what I'm eating is going to be totally different. Well, I'm sure your perception of food changed when you went over to Italy.
Yeah, everybody builds a taste.
Yeah.
There are certain people that just don't like certain things, so they'll never enjoy. Like, I love cilantro. I could put it in everything. There is some place where people are like, oh, I hate that place but I don't like cilantro. It's like, but
well, all right,
you can't give me a perspective on it.
Yeah.
You can't be a vegetarian and say you hate that place because they're burgers. You know, it's just
Cilantro's awesome in soup.
I love cilantro.
Every soup I make, I throw cilantro.
It is
in.
really good.
It changes
margaritas.
It changes the whole thing, and people are like, "Why? What is that?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's cilantro."
No, again, whether it's cilantro, whether it's anything, there are some people that don't like the most common ingredients, but you can't make something that, obviously changes how you're going to enjoy something into a physical thing. It's not doctrine. It's somebody just talking, but there's influence.
There's a place right outside Allentown, an Italian place, and they have like garlic bread, and they're like, "Oh, get some garlic." Oh, they're like kept saying, "Get garlic bread." And I was like, "Garlic bread's okay. It's garlic bread. Like, there's only so much you can do to garlic bread. So okay, whatever. But I got it. But it's legitimate. They make their own bread. They do the whole thing. It has so much garlic on it. And when I brought up to somebody, they go, "Oh, I can't eat that because there's too much garlic on it." I go, "Well, it's called garlic bread."
That's the thing. I mean, that's
what
where,
did you think it was going to be?
Yeah, it's the garlic bread has too much parsley on it. It's like that's what I'm saying. It's my whole problem is that we have perception, we have what we enjoy. I like my burgers one way, you like them your way. And once you take it from personal opinion, which we have affecting quite a bit of our world and country right now, once you take personal opinion and treat it more as fact, treat it more as doctrine, that's where influence comes. And I'd rather have someone say, like, look at this sandwich. This sandwich will change your day around or something, rather than, oh, the bread wasn't toasted enough. No. 2 stars. This guy sucks. Fuck him.
Yeah.
But that's, I don't even know what we're talking about, but
no, but I mean, there's places I've ate at, and when I've cooked places, they call and they're like, "Oh, it's Mike cooking." So and then there'd be people call and ask, "Oh, is the owner in?" Like, there's people who like shit made different ways, and when you're running a fucking business, the guy who, let's say, makes it the best way isn't going to be there for the entire fucking day.
And so he may have a bad day.
Yeah.
And he may just decide to try it a different way. But that's, food is fluid.
Yeah.
It's going to be a certain way. There are plenty of people that'll say that the way I make something is their favorite, it's the best they ever had. And
crazy.
There's going to be people that say the opposite.
Especially if you're busy. Like, when we were at the deli, we'd be so slammed that, like, I would know how the steaks were cooking when, like, the sauce and the steak juice would come together and it would turn fucking orange. And my boss would always go, "That's when they're the best." But that was because it was a specific fucking random temperature. Because, you know what I mean? Because it's like a cast iron fucking flat top coming back up and rewarming. It's like, you can't create that all fucking day long. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then people be like, "Oh, the fucking steak sucked." Or you have people come in that don't know anything and they're like, "Well, I wanted more bread." And I'm like, "What?" It's too much meat in here. And then there's not enough meat in it here. I don't know. I think it's crazy that they would allow anyone to just fucking spout off about a fucking business.
Yeah, I've seen some, and some things have been so, like, mind-blowing that people would even go to the depth. And when it goes past the food part is where it really makes it hard.
Perfect example up here, Birthright. If you go on and look at the reviews, they have one bad review, and they did a hiring, and the whole review has nothing to do with the food or the bar. It's about how he felt left out and that he was trying to be a part of the team, and that, dude, it was crazy. It's fucking 5 paragraphs, and he goes in and he goes, I tried really hard. I tried really hard to fit in, and I feel like the guys judged me and they kind of kicked me to the curb like it was high school. And he's like, my feelings.
That's a review.
He goes, my feelings were hurt. He's like, I don't like the owner. I'm like, dude, what does this have to do with a fucking beer and a burger?
There's nothing to do with it, and it shouldn't be involved in any way to criticize a business. It's not. I'm not a person who feels like you can't be criticized. I want criticism.
Absolutely.
Because I want to know whether it's something I'm lacking or I'm doing wrong or something that I'm not, passing on to the people eating my food. I may think something, this is where I've got it down. This is where I'm really passing along what I wanted to. And then you may say, you know what? It kind of needs something else. And I may disagree or I may try it and then go,
But it's better than to have somebody just be like, yo, it's awesome. Like we've been making bagels and rolls and I don't bake, but we're like, I'm doing it again later tonight. We're trying to figure out a good bagel so that when we start doing kind of pop-up stuff here, I could be like, hey man, why don't we use this bagel and then we can do something with that. But it's like, I need real feedback from that. So like, we're going to make a bunch and I'm going to take them to people who I know won't be like, hey man, that was fucking I want someone to be like, man, I think it's too doughy.
I'm going to lie. Don't give it to me. I'm going to lie.
So wait, does that mean there's bagels for me to try?
No, not here now.
Suck.
Later tonight.
Once again, you don't get to try anything.
No, I'll mail them down to you.
He sends me pictures.
Yeah, listen, as long as for me with bagels,
we're doing a bigger batch.
Well done and crunchy and lots of seeds on them. It's everybody. It seems like
I like it salty.
But
salty,
I don't
everything. Just I want a ton of seeds and salt and crisp.
Like I understand with cooking, there's timing on, and there's different windows, and you can do different things, and you can like I said, you could take a burger off at rare, and then by the time it settles, it's medium rare. But with baking, your windows to do that shit are different. Yeah. So like I'm just learning that, but like with bagels, it's like, okay, well you have to boil them. So when you boil a bagel, you can boil them for 30 seconds and it tastes one way, or you boil them for a minute and it tastes another way. So I'm like, cool. I'm like, all right, well now there's a minute. So if I pull it at 45 seconds, it's going to taste different than 30 and 1. And then I'm like, all right, well, what if I add more salt in here? So it is essentially the same as cooking, but I'm finding out with baking, there is ways that these people who make their own pizza dough and make all their different stuff, and you can make it unique, and it isn't just science and all that.
I'm still fascinated with like sourdough.
Yeah.
Because I really want to do sourdough, and then I started reading into it, and I can't commit to it.
I know, it's hard.
But it's the same thing with food, though. The same thing with food.
It's all encompassing. There's a group of people that's all they do. They just share each other's shit, and I can't.
We were looking up Portuguese rolls. We made
nice.
But see, that's the thing, too, is you find a recipe, and then it's that person's version of it. So it's like we're looking up semolina rolls I want to make for the cheesesteaks, and then I think tonight we're going to do bagels and Portuguese rolls, and we might try and do another roll. But it's like we did it twice. I was happy with it, but I'm always hard on myself with food. You have to be. I don't want to fucking. Oh yeah, it's good. Like my dad's like, you don't need to do anything different, and I'm like, you're just saying that because you taste butter.
No, listen, I had a...
He's like, why would you try and make this any better? And I'm like, because you haven't had food in Philly. You haven't had food in New York. You haven't had fresh baked bread out of a fucking deli.
Some people's remarks about a restaurant is the place is great. They give you a bowl of pasta this fucking big. So, everybody, again, we go back to perception.
I ate it all week.
But it was so great I didn't have to cook for a month. But no, but listen, you should be hard on yourself. You should always be skeptical. I had this conversation with Anthony Mangieri, who's, I don't know if you haven't had his pizza yet. He has Una Pizza Napolitana. And he was like, and he said the same thing I always say. I hate talking to people and like, we took 2 years and we perfected this recipe. And to a lot of people, that sounds like, wow, they took 2 years. But you use that perfect word. You use that, like, I've changed everything I've made almost every time I've made it.
Yeah, me too.
Even in the slightest way. Yeah. You know what I mean? I changed the way I tie my porchetta last year. I changed the way I mean, my pizza, every time I make pizza, I change it a different way. And that's to me, the mark of someone who is putting everything into their food is that even the slightest, they're willing to even change the slightest to the craziest part of it in order to come out with something that they'll be pleased more. And then you hope that everybody else will be pleased.
But it's how you feel that day. You might say, you know what, I want this to be a little spicier today because I feel like I want to eat a little spicier today.
Yeah, and I love that because I've been to restaurants, like I've been to places where they're like, oh, the whatever is spicier today, like you said.
Yeah, that's good.
Or we did the pizza a little more crispy.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It's like, in a way, I'm a nostalgic kind of person and I have abandonment issues. But in the end of the day, I might have really wanted that pizza the way it used to be. But then, wow, you know what? This is fucking good.
I like when they do stuff like that. I like doing, but I mean, my friends always give. Well, my one friend Tim always gave me shit, but he just started recently getting into cooking, so I think he's starting to see it a little bit more. But these guys will make food down here, and then they'll be like, I'll be like, they're like, dude, this is fucking, and I'm like, I said, yeah, but I said I overcooked this part, and they're like, shut the fuck up, it's perfect, and I'm like, well, you're not seeing it from my angle. And then when Tim's cooking now, he'll text me and be like, I'll be like, what did you think? And he's like, well, I could have done this here, and I should have kept the smoke on this longer. Like they did brisket, and he was like, it was done in 2.5 hours. And he goes, I then realized that that's not how long brisket takes. And so then he redid it.
That was so here's how it went. So I it's been over a year. So I got a small smoker because I always want to smoke food. And I go, I'm not going to go into it too deep because I don't want to spend a bunch of money. And my wife already told me I couldn't get one. So I got a smaller one, right? And I was like, I'm just going to show up at the house. And we have one. So I got it.
You're still alive.
And I've been doing like chicken wings and doing like chicken. Like she'll eat that. And then I started doing pork loins. And then I started working on, I want to have different seasoning to put on pork loins.
Oh, yeah.
Then we're marinating. Then we're doing all this stuff. So then we started doing, then I was like, I've never done a brisket because I don't want to spend $100 on something and fuck it up because I'll be bad. Now, if it's like a 30 or 40, I have no problem with that. So when he called me 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and he goes, hey, there's brisket on sale over here at the store. It's like crazy cheap. And I go, and he goes like, it should be $120. I can get it for like 30. And I was like, you know what? Give me the fucking brisket. I'm going to do it. Yeah. So I said, get me a smaller. I go, get me a smaller one. He gives me one that's fucking 19 pounds. And I go, it won't fit in my fucking smoker like the way it is. So I gave it a whirl. I'll never do it again because I spilled everywhere. I dripped everywhere. It was 8.5 hours of like constantly changing things, spraying it, keeping it. I don't have the patience for that. Everything else, 4 hours, 5 hours, great. Turkeys, chicken, all that's beautiful. So
it's all about finding your plateau. How crazy do you want to get?
And it's like, so
see, he fucked.
Well, so we did it. Well, anyway, I go, yo, I have so much fucking meat here. I'm just gonna drop some off. And
I've gotten text messages from him like that in the middle of the night, but I think it was different.
That's
context,
it's completely different. Yeah. But I said, I go, dude, I'm not gonna eat all this, and my wife doesn't. It came out really good. Cool. Gave it to him. And I dropped it off, and he just goes, oh, yeah, no, this is how it should. And he goes, I'm not giving you any of mine. And I said, why not? He goes, it took me 2.5 hours for mine. And I'm like, if I was 8.5 hours and you're 2.5 hours, there's a discrepancy. There's something.
Yeah, I mean, you could cook brisket even in less, but if you're smoking it.
But now the second time, he fucking nailed it.
See, but that's Tim. Tim doesn't give up on stuff, and Tim always tackles challenges.
Second time, he nailed it. He's like, I'm bringing this over. Like, I didn't know anything.
He started at like 8 or 9 a.m. with his brother. And but that's what's cool, too, is his brother cooks. So, like, that's what I try and tell everybody how much I love cooking. Like, if you get into cooking and then you're cooking with someone, there's nothing fucking better to do.
Dude, it's a day event. He sat there all day. They drank beer. They hung out. He would
hit me up at like 11. He's like, I think I'm drunk. And then he hit me up later and he goes, this brisket is so good. He goes, I'm confused and fucking mad.
And then, he told me that too. And he goes, I'm angry that it's this good because I don't want to do it again. But if I can do this,
I texted him. I said, "You're the brisket guy now." I said, "You're the brisket
guy." I told him. I go, "Yo, I'll do all the fucking pork loin stuff. I'll smoke fucking. I'll do all that. You can do fucking."
But that's why I want to get in. Like, I want to get into doing stuff, and eventually, when I move to the next studio, I want to get a licensed kitchen so that we can do the cooking show. But it doesn't. But it doesn't matter what the fuck I do out of it. So if I want to call Tim and Tim wants to make brisket, and we make brisket cheesesteaks, and I just be like, "Hey guys, we're selling brisket cheesesteaks on Friday, and that's what I'm going to do." And I can do that because the kitchen's licensed or figure out a way around it. Like, that's how I want to fucking cook. I don't want to fucking be in a kitchen every goddamn day unless it's with my friends and I have a scheduled thing where we're like, hey, we're doing a pop-up Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and these people are coming in. Like, I'll do that all day long. But to lock myself into a thing like that, I don't want to do it. I want control.
I'm getting more and more toward that, like, wanting to be more freelance, wanting to be more loose. I mean, my problem is, and this has been the biggest struggle since I haven't been at my store. This is now 4 months. Is I miss having the canvas of my food available always.
That was always the draw of coming back. Coming back to a kitchen that even at jobs I hated. It was like, you would have a best friend that you were working in there with. You'd be doing different things, and you had the opportunity on the break to all right, what do you want to make today?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
But I don't have the outlet anymore. I don't have the always and it's flattering to hear how many people either used to go to my store or wanted to go and never made it, saying, and at the end of the day, it's like, it kind of sucks not having an outlet where my stuff's available all the time. But then again, like we talked about before, the idea of it being such a special occasion and not like, Angelo, we go see Angelo next week. It's now he's here.
You're making memories.
The porchetta's here or pizza's here. Now we got to go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, we talked about it last time. We talked about it all the time, making food with people, having fun. You can have the best laughs or the most deep philosophical conversation with someone while you're making food, and there's really nothing bad.
You have to have music playing.
Yeah,
I love fucking music playing.
Oh no, I love it. No, even if it's in the background, there's got to be something going on.
Yeah, I've worked in kitchens where like they wanted shit quiet, and I'm like, I can't do this shit, dude. Somebody put on fucking music. I can't be quiet down here. It's just I put on the fucking music, and it's why I invested money in that fucking sound system. That is key to me working all fucking day long.
Yeah, the only time I ever change that up is if I'm doing something that I'm super focused on, standing in one place where I'm not bouncing around. I'll do some kind of podcast or talk radio because I grew up listening to talk radio, either sports or politics or just life. And then I did radio in college, and a lot of it was talk. And then since we connected, all the different. I realize how many outlets there are. I mean, I never really had time to really be able to listen to podcasts because in a kitchen, it's a lot easier to have music on, even if you miss half a song.
Yeah.
But when you're listening to conversational kind of talk radio or podcast, you want to be like stationary. You don't want to move and be like, wait, what did he say? Nowadays, we can rewind, where years ago, listening to Opie Anthony growing up, it's like, did they just say that? Fuck.
And if you miss it, you're like, wait a minute, there's a naked girl in there? I missed the whole opening to that part.
Did he say taint? What did I miss?
That's how I started getting into wanting to do full videos, because I started watching podcasts like TV, and I was like, oh, this is where this is going, where you can sit down and watch a conversation. And now it's time where, like, if a good podcast come on, or like I'm really getting into Tim Dillon, so like when his new stuff comes out, like I set time aside to like I get excited when I see the subscription come up, and I'm like, another episode. And then when it's all settled down and the day's over and it's fucking crazy, and I love sitting down here, hit a fucking bowl, have a fucking beer, and watch a fucking podcast.
Yeah. No, that's cool. There's so many downfalls to this new technological world. It's not very new, but at this point, we're always further. Every time, every day, we're more and more, deeper into this technology. But it has its benefits, and that's what it's about. And it's being able to replay things, being able to sit down and watch and listen, and all these different things. It's cool. I've listened to like a podcast from a month ago. Yeah, even if it's current event stuff. To me, it still interests me. I don't have like.
I'll go back on a YouTube channel and go through it all.
Oh yeah. I find myself in like late at night, like with fucking Alexa over there playing something off a podcast from I'm like, and then I realized, oh wait, this is like 3 weeks old, but it was still good. Yeah.
What the hell was I going to say to you? I want to wrap up in the next like 15 to 20, just because we want to cook and I want Jesse to try the food. But what are your thoughts on doing something here? Like, because we've been going back and forth on it. Like, we'll just kind of go over it, and I want your opinion on it as well, Jesse. Like, what do you think we should do?
Mozzarella cheese.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be here. Well,
see, that's the other thing too, is that's what the one guy said to me, is because there was a cheese guy in this town, and I talked to him the other day, Calandra, and it was a family ran business. Neither of the sons wanted to take it over, and they're selling everything in the property and whatnot. So no one in Nazareth can get mozzarella.
No, and it's a big deal, and like it's literally like a quest that everybody just goes to every Italian place. Like, you guys make cheese, nothing comes close to what it was. And I'm going to be honest, and I'm not kissing your ass because you're in front of me, but
he
your
will
cheese,
kiss your ass in front of me.
I will. You fucking creep up.
For bridge tokens.
Your cheese, it's better than what that was. That shit, like, legitimately growing up, when my wife came from here and then she moved to Jersey for a while. And then when she would come to our family thing, she was like, you just have plates of cheese? And we're like, it's Calandra's. We go there and that's what we do. And she never understood until she started eating it. And she's like, "Oh, this is good." So I got cheese from you that he brought back, and she goes, "Oh, this is better than the other one." And I said, "I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I used to be able to drive down the street.
Yeah, no,
and now it's gone."
No, that's nothing worse than when a place you love to get food from is gone, or they, God forbid, change something. But you know. To me, if no matter what we do, then maybe we should just have balls of mozzarella there for sale.
You could. Well, no, I was going to tell you that if we plan it ahead of time and work on it, you could definitely sell.
I can tell you right now, the place that I have been going, there's a guy that comes in and makes cheese 2 times a week, and literally just makes, a rope of cheese, and then he makes they do a twist. And they literally they have a whole case that's just full of cheese, and it's gone. Within a day, people come in just to buy little things, and it's gone.
You could probably come back here and just sell mozzarella.
Okay.
Listen.
You have to fucking twist
to me.
my arm.
You should buy calandras, and then you could
Listen, you never know. We had a little talk about that, but I love the small town. I love the freedom of
buy calandras. It's made, dude. It's been there for how many years?
I am unemployed, so you never know.
There you go.
But for the pop up here, I mean, we have so many things we could do, which is why I think we should do.
What are you leaning towards? Do you want to do 2 days and do like a Saturday do a sandwich and Sunday do the pizza, or do you want to just do one day and come back, or what do you want to do?
I don't know. I mean, if we are going to do pizza, it's got to be pretty soon because the weather is getting colder.
This town is obsessed with pizza. There's fucking 20.
I might have worked at a pizza place for many, many, many years.
Well,
I ate pizza every fucking day.
Maybe because, I mean, we could, I would love to do sandwiches. I'd love to do porchetta sandwiches or whatever we do. But maybe we should just focus on planning a pizza one, even if we do pizza 2 days in a row. Whatever it is, just for the weather part. Because listen, at the end of the day, I have that electric oven at home that we can make pizza in if I unplug it and get somebody to help me lift 300 pounds into my truck. And technically, we can do pizza anywhere, or anytime. But I mean, the way I am is I want to do a lot of stuff. So whatever we think can work, let's try it. Worst comes to worst, we fucking eat it and we have fun. Yeah. So I think maybe we should plan on doing like a 1 or 2 day just pizza. And then do porchetta separate time, and then we see how it works out, and then we could maybe do back to back, one of each or something. I mean, honestly, you guys know the town better than me, and like we were talking about before.
Anything's going to work because what the thing is that there's no, and this is why I want to do this, and everybody's always like giving me shit for staying in this town, and it's like, first of all, the rent's cheap. Then what I've learned and what I told you about the red tape to do anything is it's hilarious.
Well, that's what really attracts me because I'm from Westchester, New York. I live in Bergen County, New Jersey, and New York City, and there's so many regulations. There's so much cost. There's so much headaches.
Nothing in this town.
It's honestly, it's a lot of the time, especially now I'm learning more because I don't have my store and I'm trying to do things otherwise. There's so many headaches involved that makes it difficult. And what we talked about, what they're asking and what they're requiring for this is like, that's nice.
But here's the scary part: is it's been like that forever, and no one's done shit.
No,
so it's prime potential. It's prime to blow the fuck up.
So you know what? Let's plan. Let's do a Saturday porchetta sandwich thing and a Sunday pizza pub.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah,
let's do that.
Cheese every day.
And that's what I said
cheese
too.
Both days.
It's up to you what you want to do. It's like I said too. It's like we can go out. The casinos here if you want to stay in town. If not, you know what I mean.
I'm dying to play blackjack.
We can't
play blackjack yet. Not at that casino. It's brutal. Oh,
because of the Rona. Car in the
Rona. Yeah, the Rona. No, they literally
we can set up a blackjack tournament down here. Allegedly,
I think they might let you do a little bit like with less people, but I know like even the poker rooms, they close the poker room, put fucking machines in.
Mike will know. My buddy Mike that I came down with that you met.
Yeah.
He's dying for you to come up here, and he already messaged me, and it's like he comes up, he's like we're fucking tearing it down, so he'll know where to go.
Cool. I'm in.
But I think we should do that. I think it would be cool to do a sandwich and then pizza the next day, and we can revolve it around shit. I think we were looking up there. I mean, there's plenty of options to do stuff down here. There's plenty of options to do stuff outside. I think it's untapped. And my favorite part about it too is I start thinking, Walter's Hot Dogs has a truck.
I know.
So now I'm like, because the next thing that I'm working on is over there behind you is where we're going to, I'm going to build out a kitchen studio. So I'm going to make I'll have my buddy make it so I fold the thing up. It's on wheels. It can get the fuck out of the way. But when somebody comes down here, I can open it up, turn the lights on. We do this. We do a cooking show, and then we sell the food for the person. So I know that like people get content out of here, but it is a drive for people that are doing stuff outside the area. But if I can provide a podcast, audio and video, a cooking show, full video, and they can make money because they can park their fucking thing out front and we'll promote the shit out of it, I'm hoping that's enough of a draw to pull these busy people where they're like, well, fuck it. I can get a shitload of content off of Mike and make a couple $1,000s because there's no food in the town.
Yeah, and to me, what attracts me the most, even beyond all that, which is amazing, is the idea of I'd never expected to be making food in Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
Well, that's the thing. And now you're going to have all these new people that are going to be searching you out and following you around.
Of course, it spreads the influence. It spreads. I mean, I have probably more followers from around here because of you guys than I would ever think. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, if you look at my, the insights on Instagram, you could see it's like mostly New York and then little 1.1% here. So, but it's also cool. It's a different platform. It's a different clientele. It's different people. I mean, everywhere you go, it's fun to just like involve yourself into what's going on. And you got the small town Main Street, the historic area.
They did the fall festival. I wasn't here for it. We were doing a German fest at my parents' house, so we missed it. But like they said, it was cool. And it's like people do cool stuff.
They do. They have there's stuff that goes on. Like they try to do stuff. I mean, they used to have the best was they used to have a fucking block party. They'd have a band on one side and a DJ on the other, and it was just everybody came and everybody knew each other. And there was like just hot dog stuff. But there's Nazareth Day, that the whole Nazareth Park, which is full of stuff. People sell stuff. There's food. And there's trolleys that take people from here and take you around town. There's a lot of shit to do.
Yeah,
I'm moving.
And the whole reason I want to do it is because I have so many people that like either are busy or they have kids and they can't drop everything. Like I'm lucky to
and it's
have
different.
not.
To explain, like I lived in Brooklyn for 3 years.
Really?
When I lived in Brooklyn, all I heard were cars and all the shit, and people were like, "Man, I loved it." But when they came back here, now I live down the street. At night, you don't hear anybody. It's just nothing.
I like both. I like.
I like both. I like that. I hear that there's people doing shit, and I like to hear nothing.
Yeah. But I'm the same way.
I also like the appeal of like all the people that contact me and they're like, man, you're lucky that you got to eat that. Or dude, how was that fucking sandwich? And I'm like, well, now all these people that follow and listen and they're super local and maybe they can't get a babysitter, like next Friday, I'm sure there's a million people that would want to come down there, but they don't have the time and they can't do it. So now if I can bring that opportunity and that experience to people and do something really cool outside and they can walk to get it here, or like they can drive from Bethlehem, Easton or whatever, Allentown, and come and try your food that they would never have the time to go fucking do it during the middle of the day. That's what I want to provide.
No, I like that, and it's the community thing. It's the where food meets, social. Yeah, it's all about
getting people talking.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me. The shit's so my friends, all my friends are like, dude, like you know what I mean. Like he's coming up. Was he gonna have food? Did you tell him to bring the mozzarella? Cool. Like it's for them. It's the same reason I redid the park. Like I didn't do the skate park to get my name in the fucking paper. I did it because my friends' kids were being bullied down there because there was fucking idiots smoking pot and doing dumb shit. But I was that idiot, so I knew what had to change it. You know what I mean? Like I was like, all right,
changed it from the inside out.
I did. I was like, I was that dude. I was that dude breaking beer bottles down there, being stupid. I was like, all right, well, what's gonna happen? Okay, tell them there's a video camera down there. They leave, and then I'm like, all right, well, Mike's helping out. So then they stopped doing it because my name was attached to it.
I mean, I'm the same way, and that's why like I did the kitchenette in my house, and part of it is
I can't wait to do stuff like that.
Part of it's for myself to work on things. Part of it's that I want to make things for people, and I want availability to be able to make certain things. And you need different tools, you need different ovens, you need different everything. And the other part is I want to get my friends over, whether they're professional cooks or home cooks, and have fun.
Yeah, you should.
And film it and go live.
You should make it like Headbangers Ball.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. I mean, I am very fortunate to be friends with some of the greatest pizza makers, some of the greatest chefs, and most of them, and a lot of them aren't doing it even professionally. So to have friends over who are known and bring their dough and come make pizza with me, or to have friends who to Arno or just want to have fun,
I'll help you do it.
that's my house. It's
my buddy. Remember how I told you my buddy
No
Jer?
pants.
I said to my buddy's like, dude, he's got that in his kitchen, and I'm like, dude, he just wants to like hang out in his kitchen, and so I want to bring him down, and he fucking is a producer, and like, he's the one who makes all this shit look like this.
Cool.
And I told you, we'll come down, have some fucking drinks, and he'll be
do
like,
it.
hey man, you know what you need to do is just a couple of these fucking lights here, and then once you get up and going, just do it.
No,
It'd be so fucking cool.
Just finally, I had a few friends over a few weeks ago before the wall was done and before, things. I mean, it's still a work in progress, but it's functional. So, like, to me, I want that place. I was tired of I have a wood-fired oven outside on my trailer. That's my mobile one. And fuck, it rained. And I've made pizza in the rain a million times. It's just not fun. It ruins the whole time. And then, now it's too cold. So now I'm like, listen, I got no excuse now.
Yeah.
I have a second kitchen with my wood-fired oven, with my electric deck oven, with a commercial refrigeration and stuff. Somebody said to me, and they're right, but I don't agree with it. Like, you could have taken whatever money you spent and opened a pizzeria. I'm like, I know, but it's not the same.
Now you're going to work. This isn't work.
Yeah. But now you can be in your house in your fucking underwear, drinking beer, doing whatever, and trying shit instead of having to go into work and doing what the fuck.
No, I mean, just yesterday I had the wood-fired oven lit. So like I don't even know what I was eating, a piece of bread and cheese. So I just put it on a piece of like a pan and I put it by the oven. I'm like, yeah, it's like,
dude,
it's a little overkill.
It's not overkill.
Like I said,
overkill. It's what I would do. It's like when I eventually have a place and I know where I'm going to take things and the money I want to have, and I don't want to get crazy, but I definitely want it to be a point where that's how I do my fucking kitchen, or an outside fucking kitchen with a pavilion, and like that's how I want to live. I don't care about anybody else. You know what I mean? Like I don't. If you think that this is crazy, it's not for you. But I see the shit you're doing, and I'm like, dude. I'm like, I get excited about doing dumb shit with an air fryer down here, let alone a fucking.
But the best thing I've heard, and most of it's from food people, whether like I said, pros or not, have been like, "Oh, you're fucking crazy," but I can't wait to come over.
It's the best compliment.
Yeah,
it's the best compliment.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
And a lot of times it's, and I'm happily a few people have influence in doing something similar. And I'm not the first person to have anything at their house like that. I just kind of, I'm an impulse kind of like, if I want it, and let's do it. And I did it all at once, so now it became this thing.
Anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Just always remember that.
Exactly. So that's what it is. It's just the availability, and it gives a place to have fun.
But you can do whatever. You can work on shit, and you actually have a proper place to do it.
I'm obsessed. I don't want to. I don't want to work on a recipe to make.
Perfect way to put it.
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to work on a recipe to make a type of pizza if I can't cook that pizza in the right way. Yeah. Because then what is the recipe? I had the wood-fired oven, but I was making New York style and like Detroit style pizza recipes and cooked them in my home oven. And they were coming out good and it was enjoyable, but you can't execute just with anything. You can't do a quarter-mile run if you got a Toyota Tercel that doesn't do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. So it's all subjective to what you want. And to me, if I want to make something or develop something, I want it available at my hands. So now, if I want to make if I want to open a New York style pizzeria, I'm going to practice day and night at my house to make that. I have the means to do it. I have no excuse. I can't say my dough's good, but I've never tried it in the proper way.
I love seeing it though, because I'm like, he's in the lab. I know. He's in the lab. He's creating.
It's fun. I can't wait to just be even more now that, like I said, the major feature is that crazy tile wall that I had put up is done. The new oven's in. Tables being worked on with certain speed racks to put my dough pans, and then I get new mixers coming. But it's functional. So I can say, guys, what are you doing tomorrow night? All right, I made dough. Let's make some pizza.
Dude, especially with weather like today. Yeah. Like just opening the fucking windows, cooking. Be like, dude, come over. Yeah. I can't wait. Wait. That's great. I'm excited for you. I can't wait to do the pop-up. I think we need to figure it out sooner than later just because I think the weather. Yeah. I think that if I start trying to do anything in December, it's going to be fucked up. So there's a small window that we can try and hit. I'm going to try and do 2 pop-ups, you and Local Stone, and then and then once I have it figured out, I'm going to fucking book summer.
Hell yeah.
I want to do so much stuff, have you up multiple times if you have the time to do it. I want you to be able to plug anything you're doing, your social media, and if you're doing the Thanksgiving porchetta shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty much going to cut it off soon just because there's only so much I can do. Thankfully, I have friends with kitchens and restaurants. My father has 2 stores still, so I'm going to use their businesses because it takes space. It takes, it's a mess. So I think I'm probably right now I have 12 or 14 whole porchettas sold. which I appreciate because that's my income right now.
Yeah.
But that's the thing
crazy.
I'm doing. I've kind of been like thinking about maybe doing some other stuff, like some certain stuffed bread, some homemade turkey gravies and mozzarella, stuff like that. I'm not positive I'm going to yet, and if I do, I'll announce it in the next few days. But other than that, I got next week is the collaboration on the 13th with Sette Pani in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, 12 to 5 on Friday. I'm working with the Aided app. Honestly, the best I can say and what I want to do is if I have some sort of following, I want them to keep close attention as to where I eat, because it's usually a great person's eatery, and I want to support them.
And if Aided will come on, I'll definitely have them on and push what they're doing with the app and everything.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I would love to get them involved, and it's you know what, the best thing is to be able to promote yourself is great because it pays the bills, but at the end of the day, is to promote the people you know who are doing things the right way for the right reasons.
Yeah,
because I mean, if I would love everybody to take from me mostly is that I want to support the right people and the right passion. And if I'm eating there, it's, to me, I enjoy it. I'm not saying it's good because I eat it, but I enjoy it. But I also want to support them. So all my friends, pizzerias and restaurants, all that. But right now, I have things in the works. I have ideas. There's nothing really solid. I'm kind of
farm.
Yeah.
Farm.
I want to live on a farm now.
Farm.
I'm like, I teeter between wanting to open a place in Brooklyn or the city, and then the next day I want to open on a farm with like 500 people in the town, and I can go out back and grab my ingredients and
raise your own animals, and you control what the intake is. You control the taste of the meat.
That's the ultimate dream, whether it happens now or 20 years down the line. Eventually, I'm going to be on a fucking farm, and there's going to be farms surrounding me also, and I'm going to be using only my vegetables and only my pork and only that. It may take, who knows where it'll be, but that's the ultimate goal. But as of right now, keep an eye on my page and see what I'm, doing. I hope to do a lot more collaborations, a lot more pop-ups in the next month or so, since the pizza party thing has died out because it's too cold for some people. Not for me, but,
Yeah. Cool. I want to thank you for coming on. Anyone who's just tuning in to what we're doing, everything is on neveragainstudio.com. We will keep you updated on when we plan on doing the pop-up, and that's it. I always screw up ending the show. Buy my apparel, I guess, if you like it. I'm always terrible at selling my own stuff.
If you want to buy some shit.
Everything's on neveragainstudio.com. All the past episodes. Search Never Again Studio on iTunes. That's everything. The Finisher stuff's on there. We got a bunch of stuff coming up with them. I forgot to tell you, you have so much going on. Jokes and Chokes we're working on again. Awesome. And I talked to Emmaus Theater, and they ended up being like really cool people. They gave us a great price. So it looks to be a sound venue that we might even be able to do jujitsu at. So those guys are coming on. Good. So we got all that shit coming up.
If I can say one thing.
No. You just turn this off, Jesse.
No, go fuck yourself. No, but we talk about this a lot. I push it on my page a lot, and I don't care what you believe, who you believe, what you eat, or what you do, who you fuck or who you don't. People got to stop being dicks to each other and being bullies over whether it's politics or whether it's anything. I feel like, and we don't have to talk about details, but I feel like right now it's such a time where people are just at each other's throats, which we've always been. It's not, listen, there's always been adversity. There's always
never
been
going to go away.
And it's never going to go away.
But you can make it better.
But the problem is now that there's all this social media, now there's all this connection, I'm tired of the negativity of people just going after everybody. And the most thing I ever bitch about on my page is, don't be a dick. Stop fucking judging people. Stop making everything a problem. Stop making people's beliefs being such a problem, because there are beliefs that, I think we can all agree that are pretty fucked up and shouldn't be, so public, or shouldn't be even thought. I mean, you can't change the way people feel. But at the end of the day, I don't really think there's that many people out there really trying to get after someone or get over on someone. And it's bullshit and cancel culture and judging everybody by everything they do. And I'm tired of it. I mean, I'm not going to change the world. I'm a fucking peon when it compare in the grand scale of who's who and what's what. But to me, if you follow my page or if you eat my food, I'd rather you just be cool and stop being a dick and just enjoy life. My favorite thing, and I was saying before, is take a deep breath. Like, everybody's so caught up, everybody's so concerned and so, like, you know, hardcore about whether it's their religion or their politics or whatever. Or it's like, just fucking chill.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's important, though. If you take that giant deep breath and then you give yourself some thought and space. Anytime I've ever made immediate impulse things in an argument with somebody, it's always gone horribly wrong. But then the times where I've been like, all right, what do I want to say to you?
Yeah, it's just the deep breath, though, to me is almost like it's almost like a metaphorical, like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so much like, none of us are experts. Even the experts aren't experts. None of us, I mean, how often do you know someone who's really a piece of shit in this world when they have, just because they have a different belief than you?
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not, you know, I'm not, you know, breaking new ground about anything. I'm just tired of people being assholes. So
yeah,
you'll see it on my page. I'm not afraid to show it. If somebody's a dick, I'm going to call them out because I don't want to be involved in that stuff. I've dealt with enough assholes in my life, and now there's not a day goes by that someone is being judged or generalized based on what they support or who they support by people who don't know them. You know what I mean? I like everyone until they give me a reason not to.
Yeah.
I've always been a misanthropic kind of like black metal kind of. When growing up, it's like you hate the world. I changed at some point where it's now I have faith and hope that you're awesome. Just don't let me down.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not a fucking a philosopher. I'm not trying to wax philosophically, but when it comes down to it, enough already. I mean, look at what's going on this week. We're not talking politics, but look, it's election week, and if the rest of the world thinks we're going to civil war, and a lot of us think we are, and I don't know if we will or not, but I don't think so. I don't.
It's just a matter of people.
It's just too much. It's just,
and it comes down to this, and this is what I told the last time that, you know, when Trump won the election, there was people that were literally on Facebook crying and saying, "What are we going to do? It's the end of the world." I said, in the grand scheme of things, are you going to be affected in your day-to-day life? Most of the time, no.
But it's, even if you disregard that, we're all going to be slightly affected by laws, but it's never going to change. We're not going to wake up tomorrow morning.
Yeah, they're going to start taking your fucking house.
Yeah, no, but at the end of the day, we still have to be. I mean, I'm an asshole because I was gonna trademark this phrase like years ago that said, you know, and it could be worn by people of both sides of the spectrum, but I said, you know what, it's going to bring down hate on a lot of you. I said, you know, after Trump, we still got to be neighbors. We still got to be friends, you know, because whether you think he's an asshole, you think Biden's an asshole, you know what? At the end of the day, I don't have to deal with them on a daily basis. I have to deal with you. I have to deal with you. I have to deal with my neighbors. And there are people that are desecrating each other's property and fucking chasing people down.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, that's what are we that really politically driven that your candidate is going to make you? I've had people tell me, I'm not talking to my mother anymore. I'm not talking to my brother-in-law. They're not invited to my house anymore. This person's like, really? Like,
well, Bobby posted, he was just, I'm going to have him back on. He said, he goes, what's going to be funny is how many fucking Thanksgiving dinners are ruined from this.
No, I mean, and it's sad. I mean, you know what? There's certain things you just realize, let's not talk about it. I go to a certain point of discussing with people until I realize either we're just too far apart. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So obviously we're researching different, but at the same time, it's like, look, I like you. And I don't want this to turn into a point where you're mad at me or I'm mad at you over something that at the end of the day, it doesn't affect us that much. Do any candidate in any race really care about us enough for me to hate you? But
listen, on a side note, if you take my guns, I'm going to fucking flip out.
Well, that's another thing. Listen, I don't care. Listen,
motherfuckers.
That's the thing. There are certain things that, you know, it's almost hilarious how passionate people are about certain things. And it ruins life. I mean, you can't say what you want. You can't act how you want. You can't even give your opinion a lot of the time, whether it's the popular opinion or not, because there's always someone who's going to go for your throat. Yeah. And it's enough already. Let's eat, let's drink, let's smoke weed and fuck and have fun. And America doesn't need to be considered a fucking disgruntled and dismantled country over fucking 70-something-year-old guys fighting it out.
And don't take my fucking guns.
And don't take my guns too. No, that's one.
Bitches.
Definitely will always be vocal about the whole gun thing.
That couldn't have been said better. I agree with you. I hope you meant that the three of us are going to get high and fuck. But
listen, I have yet to say no to you since we've met. So
I appreciate coming on. I want you. I already opened the door for you.
I heard that too. I got a chubby. No pants.
This door is always open. If you want to throw around and you want to figure out how you want to do your own fucking podcast, if you want to come up here and do something, once the test kitchen's in, if you want to do a fucking cooking show, my door is open to you. Cool. You're an amazing person. I love that you share your food with me. I'm definitely forcing Kevin to go to Brooklyn. It's not even going to be a force, but we were wondering when we're going back to the city again, and it's next week. Awesome. Check all of his stuff out, and he's going to be bringing food to the Lehigh Valley very soon. Thank you so much.
Cool, thanks.
I figured it out. Figured out how to close the show.
God bless you.
I believe it's